This is Jose, aka Tutes. I'm a photographer based out in the Bronx, and I'm pulling up to the Wolf and Unicorn podcast. If you want to check out a lot of things that you don't want to find out about me, you better pull up.
Yo.
Yachty,
what's up?
What's poppin'?
How you doing today on this beautiful Sunday morning?
I'm doing so great. So great.
So great.
How are you doing?
I'm feeling pretty good. I got some sleep today.
Yeah?
I haven't been sleeping well over the last couple of weeks, but
yeah.
Really, I think it's because I was up late playing Call of Duty all night.
Oh, God. That's why you got good sleep?
Just kill these motherfuckers. Just get that. No. But I'm feeling good today.
That's good.
But anyway, we got a very special guest today. Our brother Tutes. Tutes, welcome to the Wolf Unicorn podcast.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Why don't you tell our listeners? Huh?
Is that my cue?
Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, what you do? We could jump into some stuff.
Oh, man. I'm going to try to be as simple as possible. My name is Jose TUTIVEN, but they call me Tutes, obviously, because, it's too many syllables on my last name. But I'm a photographer based out in New York, Bronx, mainly. Been doing it for about 7 years full time. And I've been wearing a lot of hats since then, but I think I like to categorize myself as a photographer right now.
Right.
Yeah, been having fun so far.
And he's being modest, very modest. He is one of the best photographers in the world. Let's get this right.
Right.
I follow a bunch of photographers, and they follow you. So I just want to be clear that Tutes is on another level of photography. He's not like, he shoots pictures here and there. Yeah. This guy is a beast. I just wanted to be clear and on the record that we're saying that Tutes is a fucking beast.
Correct.
Listen, maybe nationwide, but not worldwide.
maybe.
That's when I'll probably get my my status up there. But right now, I'm very humble about it. I'm grateful just to do what I love to do. That's for sure.
No, that's awesome. So we met Tutes maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You guys got an office you share with Space Dog, our friends Donnell and Fred. What made you kind of use that space? I know Create Hub's in the Bronx and Locked in the Bronx and building the community there, but why'd you choose that place? You could have worked anywhere at your level.
That's a good. It's a very good question. I'm a New Yorker at heart, for sure. I live in the Bronx, and when I first started, I was literally commuting to Brooklyn because I felt like that's where all the creators were at the beginning. My first 2 years, I used to troop it back and forth just because I felt like there was a community out there of creators, photographers, and you couldn't find them here in the Bronx. Eventually, I realized that, there is a community out here. You just got to create it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to create technically a hub, something to make them want to come to you. I've always wanted to have a studio or home-based office in the Bronx, regardless where I land. I always felt like staying local, staying around your community, and just staying committed to what you're familiar with can keep you focused on whatever personal missions you have. And I've always wanted to help as much as I could put people just either by mentoring or by teaching, or even just having discussions with them at coffee shops. And I felt like when I got a friend of mine, a person I know, told me about Create Hub, and they were opening this whole new studio for artists, I felt like that was a great opportunity, and it was definitely something that I wanted to be part of. And next thing you know, I first wanted to just have an actual base studio in Create Hub. But I realized that I reached out to some other people because I never wanted to be a loner when it comes to those type of situations. Like, come to an office, be by myself is kind of never something that, I felt like was the goal for me. I wanted to come into a space where it was very creatively polished, Right. And so I looked out for people that wanted to join or partner with me in a studio, not a photographer. Essentially, it was just somebody else who needed a space to also create. And we can always bounce back ideas. And I think in my world, it's always been beneficial for me to have someone else creatively around you.
Yeah.
And kind of bounce ideas. So when this opportunity came, I reached out to a couple of friends of mine, Stan, connected with me with Donnell and Fred. And next thing you know, we just started getting the ball rolling.
Nice.
And we've been here since early 2019.
Wow.
January 2019. And then, obviously COVID hit, and but we're still here. And then one of the best things about Create Hub is that they worked with us during COVID. They really wanted to keep us here as without any type of worries or concerns. So they really worked with us, and they still are working with us in this whole situation. So I think that I'm very grateful. We are all very grateful, just being able to support the community as much as we can, being here still. Otherwise, I think in other situations we probably have to give up the studio for sure.
Right. And then you probably would be like, "Oh, we're gonna evict you guys."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a tough part for artists, It's a tough situation for artists right now.
Right.
Well, I remember in the beginning of the pandemic when everything happened, one of my initial thoughts was of you guys, our friends, who just recently got the studio a space, and we were so excited. We were there at the launch, we took pictures in the open space just so we can have the before and after and everything. It was so exciting. And then when everything happened, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen with this? It was brand new. You guys had just gotten the space. But I also want to learn about how COVID kind of affected not just your workspace and your work area, but the actual work and shoots. How did that affect your day-to-day as a photographer, and how did you pivot with that?
I mean, I think one of the things that happened immediately was not seeing ourselves as essentials anymore, because we felt that for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me especially, it was definitely a double-edged sword. It made me stop. I'm a hustle dude, every day. The way I work is every day waking up and seeing what I need to accomplish today, who I need to meet, what I need to accomplish, what are my to-do lists for today. And every day was that. It was almost to a point where it's just MOFO, FOMO, sorry. It's fear of missing out. It's the city is so this. As soon as you wake up, everybody's like this, and you feel like you need to catch up. Right. And I think that in particularly, when COVID hit, it stopped everything. I had so many planned and assignments that were concrete. We were even working. I was even already in the process of working with Space Dogs on a video project with a very big client. And we were already in that stage of, budgeting and deliverables and teamwork. And then next thing you know, they halted it literally because they stopped every single thing. So I felt we were crushed. On many levels. I realized that I had to pretty much be a stay-at-home dad. The whole homeschooling situation kind of had to put as a priority right now. Mm-hmm. And my career as technically, aside, it just fully stopped. So I went through stages of sadness, a little bit of depression, a little bit of concerns, a little bit of questioning what is my purpose now. Yeah. And those were you go through stages of emotions, of denial. And then eventually it kind of became a challenge for me to kind of see myself as what am I, here for? I started questioning myself. What exactly can I if I looked at it as okay, what if I become a handicap? What if I for some strange, unfortunate reason, I lose some one hand or two hands or my leg? That still makes me feel I can't shoot photography anymore.
Right.
So it made me realize what am I also able to provide to this industry aside from physical images. So I have to kind of see myself more as internally as seeing what is it that I can do to provide still be part of this industry, of creative industry. So I started to pivot into video. I started pivoting into like organizations. I started pivoting into other people, and just kind of like, when I mean pivoting, meaning like communicate, interact via, you know, tools that we have now, which is all conferencing and audio. And, you know, we went back basically calling each other and having conversations with phone calls. That was like probably one of the biggest adjustments. I mean, straightforward do it. I'm a huge, and I still am, I love interacting with people face to face. I'm a true believer that you can make an impact through like physical conversation, like actual conversations, because you get to gauge people's energy. You get to understand people's like energy through their passion, through what they like really, you know, like really want in life. And it's hard to decipher that to like a medium like technology.
We've had similar, you know, we were just actually talking about this before we got on with you, and it's like, you know, we were saying, you know, the podcast, we used to do it in person, and you know, really, you know, now we have to kind of like pause and wait for you to finish talking before we say our next word. Before, this is like a real, you know, we're just going, you know, like we're at a bar, like, you know, just having a conversation at a bar. But it's definitely different, and I can't wait. I'm hoping end of the year we can kind of get back to some type of normalcy and at least be in a place with people and not have to worry too much. But yeah, just pivoting, and you know, we have to do this virtual for now. But
eventually, what kept me sane was like, okay, I came to a conclusion that I wanted to do some sort of like, even throughout when things were being a little bit more manageable, things were a little bit more controlled. I think it took me like March, April, May, June, around maybe like June, I decided to say to myself, I cannot stay like not create. I can't see myself. And I know I wasn't the only one. There's no way I wasn't the only one. So what I did is I reached out to a lot of our artists and creators, and just kind of do this whole concept of a COVID collab.
Oh yeah, I see your hashtag.
So the main idea for that was like, look, there's businesses that are closed, they're not being used. You know, outdoors or indoors, whatever. They have no, you know, but they still need some sort of like, whether it's content or promotion or marketing. So I decided to connect with like local, like Bronx, local businesses, and kind of see like, hey, can we use your space for maybe something like a personal shoot, like just like personal project? And they were like, definitely like all for it, because it was like everything was at halt, and might as well do something like productive. Also connected with some artists and had conversations with them. Actually, one of them painted like one of the backdrops for me, and she did like, her name is Sophia, and she painted like 3 of them for me for a collab. So basically now I have a backdrop to use for whatever reason. And then I connected with a model, or, you know, to kind of say like, okay, let's use this to kind of promote this. I mean, the conclusion of that first project was basically like, Sophia started to get business from other photographers saying that I want custom canvases or backdrops, let me hire her. So during the whole COVID, she got some nice little like business, you know, some nice little like attention towards her art, which, you know, she still does at this point, but now she's, you know, that was a positive thing. The businesses started to get notoriety through like social feeds, and like that first set of images got picked up by an online magazine. So it got also marketed in an online magazine, also physical print, through a physical print. So people were able to purchase that. And obviously the art model was looking for, you know, like up and come, you know, more stuff to keep them like active and busy. So she was able to use that as a content that, you know, like she can use for her portfolio. So it became more of a collaboration of people just like wanting to work, not based off of money or based off like, you know, like intentions, or the agenda was just like, we just want to stay productive and active and creative, because we're going to go insane. So that kind of helped me throughout the whole situation. And I've done, I think, 4 so far.
Nice.
So it's helped me a lot.
I wanted to ask about like your creative process, because your pictures are very creative. I mean, I see like the backgrounds, the flowers and the crowns, and, you know, you got all this stuff going on. Like, how do you come up with those ideas? Or is it kind of like when you get a job, they have an idea and you just kind of shoot it for them? Or do you kind of create some of those ideas, or all of them?
I honestly think is a collaboration for sure. It's a collaboration. I definitely have what we call a mood board, and ideas that inspire me, so images that inspire me. And I think I use that as a reference, as long as if it connects to me, whether it's something like, like something that I like reminds me of my childhood, or reminds me of certain like stages in my life, or something that maybe I do want to see moving forward, whether it's, based on like community or maybe even my homeland, Ecuador. So I think anything that resembles that feels like personal to me, I definitely want to see it come to life and fruition somehow in my images as much as I can. And once I get that, let's say a concept that I feel like I want to do, and that's like my like top one to-do list until it's done, obviously. Like I'll have it on the top. And then what I do is I connect with people who I explain to them this concept, and if they're passionate as well, and if they want to like be involved, and if they feel the connection, or if I feel like they can put their creative talent into it in their own twist, and kind of evolves into like a collaboration, not just one thing. It's just not just my thing. I just feel like put your ideas into this, and it's a whole discussion. Then what happens is that you get a makeup artist that's so passionate about this project and intentional that you don't really have to convince them, because they're already convinced. And then you bring on a stylist, and what we do is we literally go through like weeks, several conversations of like what will look cool, what will look awesome, who do we need to hire, what kind of people do we need to work with. So it's not something that's done on the spot. It's like a lengthy conversation of just things people are passionate about, put it in a pot, and then you kind of like just start cooking it, and you just see the fruition of like what we can work with, what we can do and how we can make it happen. Obviously, we all come as artists. We all like budget ourselves. Some of us don't even have that much budget to create this, but we make it work with whatever it's our resources. And lucky for us that we, like we're so passionate and determined that I want to make sure that people are involved in this project. It's not just like controlled by me.
Right.
Yeah.
I want everybody's input, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to be happy with whatever results we get. Because again, the whole concept was like putting something out there in the world, almost like giving birth to like an image, and it's like put it out there, something that we accomplished, and it's like you feel overwhelmed with the whole process. We are more like, I think in general with every project that I do, I think that I'm more about the process than the results.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the process is what kind of makes you feel sort of purposeful. It feels like you're putting all this energy into something that a lot of people don't understand, labor.
Right.
A lot of time and effort, and not expect immediate, results.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't understand that immediate results doesn't like satisfy your thirst for a lot of things. And
I think
those weeks of just going and hitting, you're getting to know so much of yourself and so much of like collaborating and these people, that it's so important for self-development for sure.
Yeah, I think it's the being exposed to that kind of process with you guys, with you and with Space Dog and all of our friends who are in the creative world, was very eye-opening for me. I think that for my experience with photography and videography and content is just like, all right, we're producing this content to post it out there to either promote something or shine a light on something. But I think that with the difference with the process, with, for example, my process and your process, is that you guys have this like whole mountain of ideas and you have an entire team. I mean, when I went to one of your shoots and I saw the amount of people that it took for a 30-second video, I was like in shock. I'm like, this is insane.
I get annoyed just like putting up the light for the podcast. I'm like, I gotta do this every time. We gotta put the mics up. And I went like she said, we went to your shoot, and I was just like, wow, that was just that. I saw the finished product. It was just like a 2-minute video and some, back behind the scenes, get like 8 pictures up. And I'm just like, all right, we gotta, all right, we're gonna lock in. We're gonna really look at this and make it look good. And it's worth it at the end of the day.
It's absolutely worth it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with creating, quick content and having nice quality photos of lifestyle or travel or whatever. That's cool. But also I'm grateful to be exposed to that kind of process with you guys, because if we do want to create something that's like, you know, has a deeper meaning or a higher quality of creative, you know, more creative, we know how to go about it. To a certain extent, obviously, it's not going to be the same.
Of course. You know, he's got a few years on the belt. We can't just come out of nowhere with Tutes all of a sudden.
You guys on route, though. I feel like you guys are doing such an amazing job so far. I really enjoyed your current season. You know, your current like session so far. Yeah. It's really, you guys are a good duo, and that's hard to find.
Thank you.
That's hard to find.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
You got two people trying to do one thing, like one goal. You're gonna bump heads a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
we do quite often.
Do we?
I'm sure.
We gotta walk away a few times and come back to it and like, all right, let's cool down. We know.
I get it.
And also, we watched some of your YouTube. You had a couple YouTube videos up, pretty fucking dope, by the way.
Yeah.
And there was one part where you said, you know, you don't shoot to make content, you shoot to capture what you're thinking and how you're feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
Can you go into that a little bit and, you know, and capturing those moments?
I mean, I can elaborate as much as I can. You know, I'm very connected with my images, passionately, emotionally, and mainly because I think I come from a background where I moved a lot. I have, you know, like a lot of my friends, I've shifted a lot. I don't have like really long-term friends. Perfect example is like my wedding. I didn't have a best man. You know, it's like, because I moved around a lot. You know, I transitioned so much. I've lived in so many like apartments. It's never been sort of like stable for me. It's always been on the go. And one of the things I've learned, and maybe this is why I love photography so much, is because I'm able to connect with one person, whether it's in the, you know, in business or personal or creatively. And it doesn't have to be with photography, but I use the photography more as like a diary. You know, I get to know these people, and I'm very selective on who I want to like sort of connect with, obviously, because we all kind of want to feel each other's energy as much as possible. Yeah. And a lot of it has to do with us kind of like, it's almost therapeutic when I have these sessions. And it's like conversations on how I can make something in like during our time while we're here, make it feel sort of like, again, purposeful, intentional, make it feel like you can, you know, see this as something that can continue to move you forward instead of going backwards.
Right.
So when I look at these images, whether it's like a year, 2 years, or 10 years from now, I'm always going to look back at this image as that experience, as what we shared in that moment. I might not see this person again after that shoot physically or never had conversations, but I know that I'm connected through that person, through that experience. And I'm okay with that, because I feel like I've learned something. And if you haven't learned anything from that person, then, you know, you continue to search for that sort of like teaching. And from every single session that I've shot, I've learned something. Whereas, you know, it definitely helped me grow into who I am right now.
Nice.
Well, I have a question. I follow a lot of creatives and, you know, a lot of content creators and photographers, and I saw someone recently post, well, not recently, during the new year, post something on their stories about how they, you know, only had these like grand special photo shoots to kind of go back and recap and overview their year. And the person was posting and saying, like, you know, I really wish I had, you know, just casual photos of moments that happen, like regular day-to-day life. You know, looking back at my camera roll, I don't see anything of this past year that's like just like a day. You know how normal people just take their phone and take a picture or something. Like, she didn't have any of that, and she was feeling like, you know, she needs to do a better job of also capturing just regular life and not these grand, you know, moments or photo shoots. And I just wanted to know, like, if you've ever had an experience like that, or if you, like, obviously, like, you're a father, so I'm sure you have a ton of pictures of your kids in your phone, but you know, when you do something for work like photography, you might, you know, not want to take pictures every now and then. So I just wanted to know how you feel about that.
Oh yeah, I definitely you know, there were stages in my life that I felt like if I didn't come home with an image that I can post, I felt like I've lost a day. I've lost productivity. I've lost purpose. You get into so much self, like, beating up yourself on like, I just don't, like you get really upset with yourself. You start like really questioning like your life. It's ridiculous. Like I don't, and I think everybody goes through that. But I think that the way to cope with those situations for me, I always bring my camera, no matter what. I don't have an intention. There might not be a plan for me to like use it that day, but I always want to be prepared. I always want to make sure that, and this could be as small as your camera, like your mobile camera, or like a point and shoot, or even like a big body, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I don't feel like you should put yourself so much pressure, at least for me, that I have to come home with something. I think you definitely have to like understand your day-to-day activity, what you want to accomplish today, and then squeeze in whatever you can as a memory. Because I definitely do enjoy, one of the things I do enjoy is looking back, and whether it's all these like channels now that reminds you of like what you shot a year ago. Yeah. It gives you some sort of like, wow, this is where I was at last year or a year ago. And it gives you a perspective of what has transpired since then. Like if you can say to yourself, like, I've definitely feel like I've progressed from that image to now, then you're on a progressive path. Now, obviously, if you feel like there's nothing there and you feel like nothing has been accomplished, don't beat yourself up, because obviously we all have a different lifestyle. We all going through different challenges. Right. I just feel like it's always good. There's always a day one. There's always going to be a day one to start wherever you feel like you need to start at. Right. And if you feel like, okay, I haven't taken anything, I feel very like pissed off or angry, I always see myself, well, yeah, entertain that, concentrate on that, evaluate it, and then be like, all right, I'm not going to let this consume me. Right. Day one, starting tomorrow. It's almost like working out, right? Yeah. Or like, trying not to eat bread or pasta, or like freaking, that's the hardest thing in my life, but I love it. There's no way I'm gonna give that up. But I think it's like, it's almost like you're in a relationship with your career. Like if you really love it, you're not gonna quit. Right. You're not gonna give up. You're gonna keep trying. You're gonna go through the challenges. You're gonna go through pitfalls. But I think that for me has always been that I can't put all that energy into those situations, because it's not gonna help me moving forward. And I'm not getting any younger. So a lot of the things that I do now is just a lot more intentional, based on, I feel like my goal right now is like everything that I do right now has to be set where it's connected to me personally, and that I can create at least one image a month where it could be valued one day to be either printed or with the aspiration of the goal of being in a gallery. Right, that's it. Right. But there's really no set goal. It's just, this is what I want to accomplish in every project or every like concept that I want to do.
Right. I wanted to mention film versus digital. I recently, I think I commented on one of your things. I picked up a film camera over the pandemic, and I've been playing around with it. I really enjoy the process. I like, I don't shoot with, I'm not shooting for, anybody but myself when I have my film camera. So I'm just like, just having a good time shooting. And, even if it's a bad shot, when you get developed, it's just like, that's still kind of fire. It's not like, I don't know, when you look at the digital, you see it right away. It's like, another one. But when you look back at it later, it's like, it's still kind of hot. I'm not going to, put it up everywhere and blow it up, but I like the picture, it's cool. So can you speak to kind of, I know you shoot mostly film, some of your shoots now, why you made that switch and when that happened for you?
Well, I mean, that's like, I started film 3 years ago, and it's been definitely a slow progression on that, on the love for it. There was at the beginning, it was more admiration. Yeah. You really didn't see it as something that I can kind of like fully see it as like a primary way of medium to shoot, because I knew that back 3 years ago everything was digital, immediate. Everything was like they want to get it by the end of the day and stuff like that. And clients really wasn't receptive to that at that time. But I think that I use film as a way to kind of balance it out. Like with digital is like trying to get the shot immediately and not worry about it later. With film, it was more about like just loving that moment, enjoying the moment, just not even thinking about the results, just not thinking about if you got it or you didn't got it. Initially, that's what helped me kind of like, when I shot it, I didn't have to look back at the camera and reshoot it again to see if I could get it better. I think if I'm a crazy dude, I have some sort of OCD tendencies when it comes to like close to perfection. Cause I'm always in digital world. If I look at the image, I'm be like, yo, this is a good shot. But in my mind, I'll be like, maybe I can get it better. You know, like, I can do this better. And then you're never going to be fully satisfied because you always feel like, and it's funny because I'll look at that same shot and it'll be like 20, 30, 50 shots. And then I'll go back to the first initial one and be like, I should have just kept the first one because that's like the most one I want. And so like I just literally wasted X amount of minutes trying to perfect that. When I'm literally like, I look at the first image, I'm like, oh snap, this is
already dope.
I just stopped here. Why did I even go further? Trying to get myself into a freaking loop, like situation where I'm just always questioning myself, and it's very frustrating. So with film, you literally take the shot. Maybe I'll do 2 shots, different perspectives, and then just move on. And I think that has helped me understand and love and appreciate the concept of like photography in itself, because it helped me slow down and just kind of enjoy the moment and enjoy like seeing that, okay, even if it's not the shot, I can always look back and be like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
And it's okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't need to go further. But obviously the more you do it, the better you get, the more you start to, just like with any trade or any skill set or any type of like thing you want to sort of become better at, you just practice and practice and practice. And like now it's literally the first thing that I get hired now to just shoot film for like lookbooks, for like regular portrait shots, lifestyle shots, clothing, weddings. Like I did my first wedding during COVID. And
I saw that.
And they told me I just want you to shoot film the entire time. That's it. Because they weren't really like stressed about, they felt like they really like my images compelled a lot more of a moment than like, you know?
Yeah, the 4K, the 4 or 5K videos at the weddings, I don't know, they get kind of corny after a while. You want that raw feeling, people partying, having a good time, and capturing that moment in a picture. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
it could be a phase. It could be something that's trending now, and eventually might go into something else because obviously technology keeps evolving. But I think film is always going to be something that I feel like I'm always going to fall back into something that I feel like I want to like not lose the love that I have for photography. If I ever want to like say to myself, like, why am I doing this? Which I haven't questioned in a long time, especially since I got into film. Once I got into film, I stopped questioning if I really love photography.
Right.
And I think that's where you feel like I do have, this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm meant to be. This is what I'm meant to like be like catered to and like devote my time and effort, is just knowing that I can shoot and shoot and shoot for the rest of my life. Nice. Everything else is just underneath that umbrella. Everything that's a job,
So, what do you you don't like keep your digital camera too when you bring your film camera just as a backup, do you? Like, oh, what if I didn't get it perfect? And that would be me. I'd be like, oh, let me take one on digital real quick. Just keep that.
I did that with the wedding. With the wedding. Just in case, because it was my first wedding that I shot on film.
Right. And
I did it because this is the first time experience. I don't know what could happen. Now, the thing about cameras is that obviously, like these are old used equipment. They don't produce them anymore. They're not new. They're all used. So regardless of anything, you're not going to purchase a new one. You're going to have to find a backup. So I have backups for film as well. So I brought backups for film, but obviously I brought my digital one just in case.
Just in case.
I obviously I never used it because I had no time. I literally once you lose the moment, you lose the moment.
Right. Yeah,
you're gonna tell them, do it again.
That's it.
Do it again. Say I do again.
Say one more time. Just look at her eyes. Tell me you love her one more time.
I usually do this whole 30-minute session one more time.
Right.
So it really made no sense. Obviously, I kind of depending on which assignment if I'm working for commercial or product-based stuff, then obviously it's just digital. I don't even bring my film camera.
Right.
It's just what are my intentions. I definitely don't want to overwhelm myself with trying to do 3 or 4 things at the same time, because then you're going to get out mediocre work. Never do that. Never put more than you can handle. But if it's something that you already have sort of the intentions for, that's it. It's either digital or film. Which one of the you want? Don't tell me to do both. I'm not doing both. Then you're gonna pay me for 2. You know what? You're gonna pay me for
2 photographers you gotta hire, the film one and the digital.
Nah, man, you can't do that both at the same time, bro. It's not gonna work. But it's been I think it's good to set those terms with like people you work with. After a while, they understand that if they come back, they know what to expect.
Right. And I saw you did like was it like a master class or some type of, I know you had like a class in January or something I saw you put out there. What was that?
It didn't work out.
Oh, no?
No, because of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the objective for that, honestly, was to not do anything like, it wasn't like photography 101. It wasn't like, how do I shoot? I think that intentionally course was mainly for, it was more of providing all the stuff that I've gone through and how I've gone, my way of kind of like overcoming all your fears, all your doubts, all your certain issues or problems that you may encounter that you never think you would find in photography. I mean, I learned a lot throughout the last 7 years. And I think the number one thing that people kind of like not looking into it is the business aspect of it. You know, I think it's very important to understand that before you start diving into like photography in general, it's not just the camera. It's not just what camera you're using. It's not just, you know, like what lens you're using or you know what, you know, like, or what tools are you using to edit. You have to start looking at like the other side of the business, which is the legal side, you know. And I think I wanted to express that to people on that notion is like, there's a way to be creative, but you also want to sustain that creativity and protect that creativity, especially if you're trying to make it a business. So I think that was the whole ordeal. Unfortunately, that's still something in the works. I personally said that I don't want to do it just because it was January. A lot of people were still kind of worried about like a lot of things, even though it was going to be Zoom. I felt like I wanted to hold that back and make it, I don't feel like I was able to connect. And again, I go back to just people face to face.
Right.
So we're not going to revisit this workshop until we all are okay to meet in person.
Right.
So for now, it's at a halt.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm looking out for that.
Divine timing is a real thing. And if the time is not right, then that's it.
Yeah, because in this career, I learned that you can't rush things just because you need to make money.
Right.
Or you want to like, you need to like put it out there. It's like, you're going to be unhappy if you rush things all the time. Because it's going to feel very, very mediocre, and you're always going to feel like, what if I would have waited a couple of more weeks? What if I would have worked on this a little bit more?
Right.
And I think that you just wait for things to come very seamless towards you in order for it to like really feel like it's necessary to do it at that time. But
put that on one of those quote Instagram posts, baby. That was good, man. I like that. I like that. Take your time, guys.
Yep. Slow down.
Patience is not easy in this industry. I think everybody knows that, right?
It's crazy.
Yep.
All right. So I guess we can. You have any more questions for Tutes before we jump into some segments?
I have a quick question though, and this is something that I'd like to ask all photographers. How do you feel about the selfie?
I hate it. I don't know how
you hate selfies.
I hate it. I mean, for me, I hate my selfie. I hate putting myself and doing selfies of myself. Do I hate other people that do it? No. I think we're at a point where it's numb. We're all numbed about it. It's like,
yeah. You can't change it now. Everybody,
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Complain about it? Then no. I personally hate taking selfies of myself. I hate being in front of the camera. And it's such a, like, isn't it like an oxymoron? Because I love shooting people in front of the camera.
Right.
When you put me in front of the camera, I'm like immediately like, nope. I will
try.
Get me out of here. No. And I try to do it. I've tried to do it. I try to be a host. I've tried to do video. and this goes back to like, this will go into that questionnaire, like later, but I'll explain that initially. But I definitely don't like to see myself in front of the camera. So subconscious. It's horrible.
Is that why you stopped doing the YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Come on.
Because I liked it. I was like,
it was dope. Amazing. Bring him back.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man.
I'm gonna do a selfie masterclass.
You're
invited.
Okay, I'll definitely take a lot of notes.
I will say that she knows how to use that iPhone, man.
Yep, I sure do.
Oh my God, I will say this: selfie. A lot of people's selfie has made me want to do more skincare practices. That's for sure.
Ah, yeah.
There you go.
I was like, yo, that skin is blowing right now. That shit is blowing right now. Crazy. How do you do that? Oh my God. Maybe I need to work on this.
All right. Let's get into some shit we don't like. Toots, would you like to participate in shit I don't like today?
Yes.
Okay. What do you got for us today?
Oh, man. Shit I don't like is, honestly, people telling me what I need to work on to create to make more money or to brand myself better. I think we are so. I think no one knows you as much as you know yourself. I don't care what specialist or pro you're bringing in front of me. There's no way you can convince me to do something I'm not 100% comfortable with. That's number one. So when people tell me you need to do more YouTube videos, you need to do more TikTok, you need to do more Reels, granted, it works. It does work for a lot of people, depending on what you do. Because a lot of people, some people are salespeople like at heart. Some people are marketers at heart and have that trait. Like they know how to combine that with that. But me, I'm just very like concentrated on staying fully creative and fully trying to like, if I see something that I want to like fulfill and accomplish, that's all I want to concentrate on. Anything that else, and if there's anything else that I put more pressure on, like, oh my God, I got to do a BTS video for this. Oh my God, I got to do like some stills so I can put it for my YouTube channel, like and start comparing. And it's like, for me, it's like, again, it goes back to like that consciousness, maybe anxiety, where it's like you have so many things thinking at the same time that you just mess up on like your initial purpose of trying to do this whole project or whatever shoot or concept that you're trying to accomplish. And so I think I get very bothered and very frustrated when people tell me that, like you want me to bring YouTube videos back because of, I just don't like, I don't think I ever see myself going into that era. You guys do great jobs. You guys are like, I feel like you guys do it so well. I just have no natural.
Yeah, I feel you. The style of the video is just cool.
I'm battling myself though, man. That's what it is.
You look so cool in the video though. Man. I was like, oh man, this is fire.
That's the editors, bro. That's not me. If I can hire a good editor that's very patient with me, for sure, definitely, I'll consider it then. But yeah, shit that I don't like is people telling me what is good for my brand.
Thank you, Toots, for that shit I don't like. Appreciate it, brother. Yadi, are you participating today?
I think I'm going to pass this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm feeling very good and very positive.
All right, that's good.
If I think of something, though,
you know, the button's always ready. Just give me the look, and I'll hit it. I have to participate,
Of course.
I just wanted to mention these political emails that we're still getting. Hold on, let me reset here. It's over. We won, guys. We won.
Just stop. Wrap it up.
I know there's still work to do. I know. But we raised so much money this year for political emails. And, I forget the number. It was like 100 billion or some crazy, ridiculous number spent on political ads this year and for the elections. Why are you still asking us for money, bro?
Right.
What, you guys are in. You got the money. You guys, taxpayer money now. You don't need these donations anymore.
Please.
We got the house. We got the White House.
Actually, give us our money back.
Yeah, whatever's left, give us 20%. Give us some refunds. What's
exactly.
up? So yeah, I unsubscribed to a bunch of Democratic Party emails. I'm just like, it's too much. I don't want to see this every day in my inbox. They still find a way.
Oh yeah, and it's different people that you never donated to. Like, hey, we need your help again. I'm like, again? I never donated to you.
Right. This is like some reverend for Texas, and it's like trying to get rid of Ted Cruz now. I'm like, get rid of him. You guys got the power now. Just do it. Leave me the fuck alone. Government, just do your job. Stop asking for our personal money. Please. I think they need to take the money out of these elections. Stop making it all about these ads and promotion, and just have one platform for each of the candidates, and they just talk, and that's it. Because this is just fucking ridiculous.
That's a great plan. I love it.
I'm just like,
I'm in.
I'm just like, we need to take the money out of this. There's no, how many people you could have helped with all that money we spent on ads? You could have solved pretty much most of the issues America has right now with a few $100 billion. I mean, come on, guys.
Right,
bro, it's crazy. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. So
my inbox is full. Thanks a lot.
It's so full for no reason. It's nonsense. Same email over and over. Can you donate 1, 5, 10, 20? I'm like, no. 0. It's over, guys. So yeah, that's my shit I don't like today.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
I like that. I don't know. So, I didn't do a lot of newsletters on that. That's for sure. I didn't sign up for that many newsletters, but that's crazy.
It is crazy, man. And it's like nonstop. Even if you unsubscribe, they have like another like a
backup,
like forward Democrat. I don't know. It's just like they have you subscribed on like 10 lists or something. I don't know, but it's insane. All right, let's play a little game. So Yadi has prepared 25 questions for you. You can answer as many as you can in 3 minutes.
Can I pass? Am I allowed to pass?
Of course. You can pass, and then we would try to get back to it once you're ready.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to try to pass. I'm going to be as real as possible.
Let me just get our questions. Okay, so once Yadi finishes the first question, the timer will begin.
Okay.
Are you ready?
You ready?
No, you're giving me anxiety.
Take your time.
They're very easy questions.
Easy questions.
Yeah.
All right, ready? If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Ecuador.
If you could be any animal in the world, what would it be and why?
A shark. I love him.
What is your favorite color?
Gray.
Name the best TV show that you binge watched during the pandemic.
Game of Thrones.
What scares you the most?
Spiders.
Name something that you... Not the little ones. Name something that you've tried that you will never try again.
Beets.
What was your first job?
McDonald's.
Name one thing you can never give up.
Chocolate.
If your life were a hashtag, what would it be?
WTF.
If you had to pick one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, patience.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Describe your life using one word.
Complicated.
Name your biggest role model.
My grandmother.
If you had to be one cartoon character, who would you be?
Woody Woodpecker.
What is the most useful thing that you own?
I'm gonna say all my hoodies.
What is your go-to food spot and what is your favorite dish there?
You know what? I do like Muscle Grill, and I like the Santa Fe wrap.
Nice. I love that.
What's your favorite song right now?
Oh my God, this is horrible to say right now. Driver's license.
Oh no! What is the first thing you would do if you won the lotto?
I would definitely. I would probably purchase somewhere some sort of like investment in Ecuador or property or real estate.
What is your favorite season?
I would say autumn.
What is your favorite thing to do when you're not working?
Binge. Just lay down and do nothing.
Use one word to describe how you're feeling right now.
Excited.
And what chore do you hate doing?
Ooh, cleaning the bathroom.
Nice.
Time is up. Thank you, Tutes, for participating in 25 questions today. I think we got through about 23.
Yeah, you did good.
23.
No skips. Good job.
Let's give him one bonus question.
If you had to pick one, which one of your 5 senses do you think that you could live without?
Wow.
That's hard.
I had to pick one. I have to.
This one.
Smell.
Okay. All right. It's been another Monster Pod with Tutes. We appreciate you coming through, brother.
Thank you for having me.
If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Instagram. We also have a new donate button on our website if you want to, help us out a little bit. It's only $5 a month, cheaper than a cup of coffee.
Right.
So, just help us out a little bit. It'll help us get through this content and keep providing you the things you need. We also have our hoodies. If you're watching, you can see on YouTube. The merch is live. Also on the website, just hit the merch button. There's also T-shirts there, and we're going to probably be working on some new merch Q2, Q3.
Bathing suits.
I don't know about that yet.
I don't want a Wolf Unicorn bathing suit.
Maybe we can figure that out. Maybe I don't know. And also we're working on our content creation coursework. We actually had a meeting yesterday to talk a little bit about it. So we're mapping it out now. We're going to start hopefully putting it together mid Q2 and have something ready for you guys. So yeah, look out for that. We got some more episodes coming up soon, so stay tuned. Again, Tutes, appreciate you coming through. We have one last thing to do. We like to end our show on a positive note. This is where we hand the mic over to you. And you can give our listeners, our viewers, something to go about their day, something positive, some type of light, some guidance, anything you'd like to say. Here we go.
Okay. Well, one of the things I really feel like you guys should concentrate on to just kind of like work on yourself, invest in yourself as much as you can. Don't worry about what's out there and how things are kind of looking dim or, like low. But I think that you take this time to just focus on yourself, focus on where you come from, and focus on where you want to be. And take your time. Be patient.
Thank you, Tutes, for that positive note. It's been another Monster Pod, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in, joining us for this one. A lot of insight and knowledge from Tutes, one of the greatest photographers we know in this world, in America, sorry.
I appreciate that, man.
All right. Peace.